There's one thing you touched on that I want to make sure we don't overlook before we go, and that is how the team at Optimizely is using AI in their own workflows. As much as people want to know, my board comes to me and says, hey, sprinkle a little, AI on that thing. The big thing that almost everyone really wants to talk about is how are you getting value in data? How are you being more productive from using some of these tools on your own end? What does that look like on your team at Optimizely and maybe across product and even across the org?
Optimizely is an AI first company, true and true. So again, not just in the solutions we're building for our customers, but in how we are using AI in our day to day, which I really like that. And in fact, I got my team together the other day because as a product board, we're chatting constantly and sharing new AI tools, be it Bolt or Claude, and how are you using it? And what did you think of the prototyping capabilities of this? And I tried this one for vibe coding, and here's what I thought. And so we are in the thick of, we are trying all kinds of different tools. We have some that we have enterprise licenses for. We use Copilot a lot in our day-to-day, for example, through Microsoft, and I'll talk about some of our use cases there. Our engineers work with Claude, and we're exploring other solutions. So it's very much evolving and growing in terms of the AI tools that we're incorporating in our day-to-day work. But I got my team together the other day because I was like, hey, we're chatting a lot about this. Let's hop on a live call, carve out a little time, and each person come with an AI tool that you've been playing around with and demo it, share it, show it, so we can all get more ideas from each other and sort of help to hone in on which ones might be the best that we want to get an enterprise grade license for and use consistently across the team. So we did that, and there were so many great examples. I think some of the common things that we're using AI tools for in more obvious use cases are like PRD writing and refinement. To enterprise licenses through apps like Copilot have integrations to Jira, for example. So help with writing your PRD and then get the acceptance criteria and get it translated into stories that you can share with your engineering team, like making that very seamless, what was a very time consuming task before. Also, less technical PMs in working with engineers or other technical folks and trying to translate, whether it be snippets of code or just technical language that is not as natural to them, using AI tools to say, can you break this down for me in layman's terms? Or can you make this into something visual that I can better understand? So the team's been doing that. We use the heck out of Copilot for recapping meeting notes, action items, summarizing things. If we're out for a day or a week, the work doesn't stop, but Copilot can summarize, here's what you missed in your chats, here's what you missed in your emails, and help you with what you need to focus on. I also loved one of the PMs on my team. She's like, I love the microphone feature on Copilot and the AI tools because I'm a talker versus a writer. So I want to just talk and sort of brain dump what I'm thinking about, be it debriefing from a meeting or to start to articulate around a PRD. I just want to voice it. And then Copilot cleans it up into this beautiful document that looks like I spent hours on it. So those use cases I really like. We also at Optimizely have developed an internal OptiGPT tool.
I thought this one was really cool when I heard about this a little bit earlier. So
I absolutely love it. And we continue to enhance it. But this is everything from if I want a query to say, tell me about this customer. Which products do they have with us? How much ARR are they spending with us? What have their recent support tickets been about? If I get an escalation or an issue, or I'm just checking in with a customer in a QBR, what a quick way to get a sense of and sort of get an executive brief of what's going on with this customer. Similarly to if I'm a new employee or I work in one product area and I want to know about another product area, I can query about our products, get information about that. We have an HR capability. So if I want to know about policies or, time off or US holidays, I can query OptiGPT for that. So that's been really cool. And then we also use external tools where we're not uploading sensitive information, but we can do market research for what's publicly available to, when we're considering pricing or things like that. So we'll use ChatGPT, Perplexity, for example, to do market research. And then we're tinkering with tools like Cursor, Lovable, Replit to do vibe coding, prototyping, and so on. So those are some of the things that we're doing. But again, every day we're actively sharing, hey, we came across this, or I tried that one, and just sharing those ideas across the team as we all learn.
I think that's one of the biggest things is how do you kind of enable people to try things? How do you set kind of mission parameters, not to use the rocket metaphor, but how do you set the mission parameters there of here's the big picture, what we're trying to do, but go forth and try things. And it's okay if, sometimes it's not going to work, but when you get something that works, share it. we try and post a lot about these kind of wins of process. How are you using tools to enhance and how could others potentially use it? One thing we found in that, I love the kind of OptiGPT to ask questions internally. One really interesting thing about AI, I feel like, has been emergent capabilities. You build something to do X, but because you did it right to do that, it has the ability to do, Y or Z or Omega or some other fantastical thing. We launched into our product, not for us, mind you, but for our customers, we launched what we call Ask Galileo, which is the ability to kind of query in a chat function, not like build charts, but query those same kind of questions. How is this customer doing? Or how are people using this new feature? But one of our CS team actually realized she could ask it, how is this customer using the product lately? And the insights it gave, she basically came back and said, this is better than a lot of CS tools we have for account health right now, because it's going in and able to actually talk about engagement. And this has been a huge kind of new internal tool that we didn't even build for, but now is used across our CS team and some of our SDR teams that focus on inbound around understanding customer and user health. So what we built for external became an internal tool that has super wide adoption now because someone took the idea and shared it, I feel like is the biggest thing, and then talked about that. But it all still comes from the human element of what are the key things that are really interesting, and having those human conversations up front. You can enhance them, but you can't replace those.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm a big advocate for share information, share learning, just like we've been doing today, even when it's fumbles and you don't get it right. But what did you learn and how did you pivot? To me, that's where I learn the most from others as well. And so I do regularly have these sharing sessions with the PMs on my team. And then we also set OKRs around making sure we're incorporating AI into our day-to-day work in this way and so on. So yeah, very top of mind for me.
Yeah. And then I think just the last thing I want to share, because what you said there sparked my mind real quick, is, it's sharing and kind of trying and everything like that. One of the biggest ways I've figured out to learn is actually try to do something and get it like halfway there and kind of fumble my way through it. Just try until I can't do it, and then show an engineer and be like, hey, look at what I did. It's pretty cool, huh? And they're like, oh my God. And then you can see their, smoke come out of their ears. But then they take it and kind of work on it a little bit. And like 2 days later, I have a great finished product.